A new Wordle puzzle is online. Click on the link to play.
Listening to the following video may give you clues. Please like and share the videos.
Pelicans vs Suns. Two important stats to look at in this series. There are two big questions that remain to be answered in this series. Who will emerge as the best defensive team? Is it Paul or Booker? Are there any other key players who can impact this series? We'll discuss these and more in this Pelicans vs Suns. Two important stats to look at in this series.
Let's start with Paul, who averages 23.5 points and 12 assists per game in the playoffs. Paul averages 23.5 points and 12 assists per game.
Chris Paul is averaging 23.5 points and 12 assists per game in the series. In Game 1, he scored 30 points and added 10 assists, helping the Suns to their best record in years.
Paul did not play in Game 2 because of an injury, but he did have a big impact in Game 1 by assisting Mikal Bridges to set a season high in assists. Since joining the Suns last season, Paul has found late career durability and is playing at an all-star level.
This season, his assists have jumped from averaging 8.1 per game to 10.3 per game. Paul has an excellent assist-to-turnover ratio in the playoffs.
His ratio is 3.5 UN, the gold standard. That means he commits only one turnover per 3.5 assists.
That means that he is an excellent point guard. However, he also has the potential to be a bad defender.
If Paul can get in trouble for committing a turnover, the Suns should win this series soon. The last couple seasons, Chris has ranked among the top players in fourth quarter stats.
He was a McDonald's All-American as a sophomore and earned the nickname Lob City from his opponents. As a point guard, Paul has top-notch agility, superior quickness, and superior change of direction.
Paul has also improved his jump shooting throughout his career. Paul has a high scoring and defensive presence.
He averages 19.5 points and 10 rebounds per game in this series. This season, he averaged 23.5 points and 12 assists per game.
Despite being a star, Chris Paul has had some downtime. He missed Games 6 and 7 of the Western Conference Finals against Golden State, and the Warriors won the series.
A former NBA All-Star, Chris Paul has never reached the NBA Finals despite a stellar career. He has been a leading scorer and a defensive force for most of his career.
In the NBA, he has 4 double-double seasons and 2 20-win seasons. His most recent series with the Houston Rockets was a play of disappointment, as he missed the last 2 games of the series against the Golden State Warriors.
Ingram is New Orleans' leading scorer in the playoffs. Ingram had his best playoff performance yet.
He has been compared to Kevin Durant. He has averaged over 29 points per game in the playoffs, with 37 points in Game 3 of the first round.
In his regular season, Ingram averaged 22.7 points, 5.8 rebounds, and 5.6 assists. This postseason, Ingram has been the Pelicans' leading scorer.
After a slow start in Game 2 of the series, Ingram came to life in the fourth quarter. He scored 14 points at halftime and dished out 5 assists.
He continued to heat up in the fourth quarter, when Pelicans coach Willie Green stopped calling plays. Ingram finished with 37 points in the game, hitting nearly 2/3 of his field goals and 3/4 of his three-point attempts.
He also didn't miss a single free throw, making 8 of them. Brandon Ingram returned from a 10-game absence against the Los Angeles Lakers and helped spearhead the comeback.
Los Angeles, meanwhile, has struggled to find a break lately, and Ingram's performance helped the Pelicans make a dramatic comeback. The Pelicans rallied from a 23-point second-half deficit to beat the Lakers.
Ingram was the catalyst for the dramatic comeback. Phoenix is missing their leading scorer Devin Booker, and without him, the Suns were able to keep the game close.
The Suns had a lead early in the fourth quarter, but the Pelicans rallied. Ingram and C.J. McCollum each made big threes in the final minutes of the game to tie the series.
Devin Booker led Phoenix with 31 points, but left the game in the third quarter due to a hamstring injury. Chris Paul added 17 points on 5 off minutes, 16 shooting, and pulled down 13 rebounds.
After an 8-point fourth quarter run, the Pelicans rallied to take a 98-97 lead. Ingram's three-pointer, off an assist from Ingram, came with just 5 minutes to play and gave the Pelicans a cushion down the stretch.
The Pelicans will face the Phoenix Suns on Sunday. So far, Ingram is New Orleans' leading scorer in the playoffs.
The Pelicans had to be a bit lucky to be in the playoffs. They beat the Los Angeles Clippers and will face the Phoenix Suns in the Western Conference Finals.
The Pelicans won a close game by 5 points in the first round, and they have a chance to advance. But the Pelicans will need a win to secure the playoffs.
The game will be decided by who can score the most points and advance to the next round. Booker's injury affects New Orleans' defensive effort.
The Suns will feel the impact of Devin Booker's injury in this NBA Finals series. Phoenix entered Game 2 a slim favorite to sweep the series, but Booker went out with an apparent hamstring injury early in the second half.
He never returned, and the Pelicans took advantage. The Suns will be without their best scorer for the rest of the series, and Booker's absence could make it difficult for them to defend the home court.
Without Devin Booker, the Suns struggle to make defenses respect them on the glass. Phoenix was bad in transition and turned the ball over 13 times.
In addition, the Suns were out-rebounded 98-68 in the first 2 games, so Booker's injury could change the Pelicans' defensive strategy. The Suns had already struggled to stop the Pelicans' offensive effort on defense and could use his absence to their advantage.
The Phoenix Suns are the favorite in this series, but they have no home court advantage. The Suns were 8-3 without Devin Booker before clinching the no.
1 seed in the Western Conference. They lost only 3 games to 1 seed during this stretch.
They blew out the Seattle Supersonics in December, fell to the Golden State Warriors in Game 6, and hung with the Milwaukee Bucks in March. Suns' defense will be weakened without Devin Booker, who has hamstring issues.
He strained his left hamstring in Game 3 of last year's NBA Finals and missed 7 games. However, he played through the injury and finished the game with 31 points on 12 of 19 shooting.
The injury didn't appear until Booker attempted to contest Jackson Hayes' fast break dunk in the third quarter. Devin Booker will miss Games 3 and 4 of the Suns' series with the Pelicans.
The injury isn't considered serious and the Suns are evaluating the results on Wednesday. A full MRI will provide the full picture of the injury and give a firm timetable for Booker's return.
But even with Booker's absence, the Suns need to continue to rely on other defensive strategies to win this series. The Suns have gotten away with poor rebounding in the past season, but Monty Williams will make it a priority for this team in Game 3.
Despite DeAndre Ayton's absence, the Suns need to rely on the perimeter for rebounding. With the Suns in Game 3 of the NBA Finals, rebounding can set the tone of the game.
Without Booker, the Suns' offense will suffer, but they will still be able to get a win without him. The Suns' starters could be C.J. McCollum and Brandon Ingram.
They can win without Booker because Chris Paul is capable of creating offense without him. However, they cannot rush Booker back and risk losing the chance to make another finals run.